Imagine you were hosting a party and you ordered 100 hamburgers. But when the caterer arrived, they only showed up with 3 hamburgers. You would be so disappointed. Like, where did your other 97 hamburgers go? This is exactly what happens when we produce meat the traditional way, meaning growing and slaughtering an animal. For every 100 pounds of food we feed a cow, it will only give us 3 pounds of food in return. The other 97 pounds of food get burned off mostly in the form of breathing and producing heat. But this is a 3% efficient process. What other industry would accept a 3% efficient process? By 2050, the world's population is expected to grow to 10 billion people. With 10 billion people, the meat consumption will rise by 70% and will be producing 92% more greenhouse gases for food production. We're already using so many resources for producing protein, though. 1/4 of all of Earth's ice-free land is used for grazing cattle, and another 1/3 is used for growing their food. This means that with the number of people and the number of animals on the rise, your children or grandchildren might be competing with cattle for food and shelter. I'm not here to tell everyone to go vegan or vegetarian, though. There are already way too many talks about that. I do believe, though, that in the future there will be many more protein options than just traditional meat and traditional plant-based proteins. The first protein source I'd like to talk about is algae. Unlike soy, algae can be grown year-round and also harvested year-round. It can even be grown in the desert because 95% of the water used to grow algae can be recycled. We often hear about how carbon intensive it is to produce protein, but algae is actually carbon positive, which means it sequesters carbon from the air. 50% of the world's oxygen actually comes from algae. If you're skeptical about the nutritional content, I understand. I was also skeptical, but as I later learned, it's 40% protein and contains all of the essential amino acids that humans need to survive. In comparison, soy is only 35% protein and pork is only 26%. If you don't like eating green things, I understand as well. It can be infused with other foods, kind of how many of our foods are fortified today with vitamins and minerals to keep us healthy. One of my favorite energy bars actually contains spirulina, which is a type of algae, and it doesn't taste like grass or seaweed like I thought it would when I first tried it. It actually just tastes like coconut. But if you're still not convinced about this whole alternative protein thing, and are one of those people who thinks there's just no way I could ever go without meat, that's okay. You don't have to. Wait, what? Yeah, with cellular agriculture, we can take a tissue sample from an animal without hurting them and grow their myoblasts, which are a type of stem cell, in a lab. These grow on scaffolding and become meat just like they would naturally on an animal. This means that one cow could technically provide meat for the entire world. That's insane. And cellular agriculture uses 99% less land, 96% less water, and produces 96% less greenhouse gases than traditional meat. While this may sound sci-fi, it's actually almost here. Lab-grown chicken has already been approved in Singapore and is being served at a restaurant called 1880 for only $23. Some people are worried about how healthy meat is for the body. This can also be remedied with cellular agriculture because you are literally growing the meat cell by cell in a lab, so it can have any nutritional profile that you would like. Which of these solutions is going to save us all, though? This is a tough question, but I think all of them. And all of the solutions that I didn't get to talk about, like endoculture, mycoculture, and aquaculture. Just like different people have different meat preferences, different people will also have alternative meat preferences. Eric Schulze from the company Memphis Meats, which is making cellular agriculture meat, summed it up nicely while talking about their meat. He said, "In our rich cultural tapestry as a species, we are providing a new innovation to our growing list of sustainable food traditions. We see ourselves as an and, not or solution to feeding a growing world. We've already changed our food habits many times before. Just 60 years ago, we were eating Jell-O salads with fruit and nuts and tuna and eggs and mayonnaise and pickles, and we thought that was good. In another 60 years, we'll be looking at producing meat for food by killing an animal the same way. Like, why did we ever think that was a good idea? Get ready for a brand new assortment of sustainable protein-packed foods. Welcome to the future of protein production.